Welcome back. I'm here with a wonderful guest today, a gerontologist. This is Dr. Jacqueline Dupont. Hi, Jacqueline. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, doctor, I'm so glad you're here. And you're visiting us today from Irvine Cottages and Assured InHome Care.
And Vista Gardens.
Vista
I
Gardens.
have that as well.
And also to add to this list of things, you are also on the board of the Orange County Alzheimer's Association.
Well, it's Alzheimer's Orange County. We're calling ourselves now, which we love that title change and game change because we're really here for everyone in Orange County.
But 20 years as a gerontologist.
Yes, and on the board of Alzheimer's Orange County.
Okay.
We've been through a lot, but it's just a wonderful organization, and we have our adult daycare right down the street.
That is wonderful, and I know that a lot of residents would like to hear more about that, and their families would like to hear. But today, let's talk a little bit about room and board care, in-home care, different levels, the hierarchy of care that is available. Can you tell me a little bit more about those different levels?
Well, in California, because every state is a little different, depending upon how Medicaid funds various levels of care, every state runs it a little differently. So in California, we're run by the Department of Social Services for assisted living and now home care. So home care in the past has not been licensed at all. And now home care is being licensed as of this year. We have many, many agencies who stepped up and are licensed, and the caregivers have to be fingerprinted, which is a wonderful, wonderful improvement. I give some kudos to the state of California for fingerprinting the caregivers. That's been a long-term problem in California. We've had caregivers in various home settings, even in assisted living, that are working just for the client and really haven't been fingerprinted, and that's been an issue. So now we are fully fingerprinted and associated with each agency.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's just wonderful, and it's just been a little bit of a hump getting them all hired and fingerprinted and back TB tested and all the wonderful things that will keep our seniors safe in their home. And there's a little bit more big brother when you're using an agency, which is important.
True. It's just a little bit more monitoring, more availability for safety, because you have a little better idea of what's actually happening in the day-to-day care.
Right, exactly. And that's how we see in-home care in California now, is safety is of prime importance.
Well, I was just thinking, we have all this technology. It really should be there to kind of assist us in this way. We should be able to check in. We can talk to people face to face on our phones.
Right.
There really should be a little bit more good communication.
And in home care, I do see, at least at Assured, we are using cameras. We do offer it to families when we're signing them up. We'll say, would you like a camera in your home?
Right.
And you have so many valuables. Make sure you videotape everything.
So true.
Keep an inventory. That's really critical. But in addition to that, having the Ring or whatever form of video monitoring you would prefer. In-home care has no regulations, and it's really just for safety. And we do ask for a consent, because we need a consent from our employee, as well as, you know, the whole family having a consent that they know what's going on.
It's true, and not only having that kind of monitoring, it helps with keeping track of everyone's possessions and their day-to-day care, but in case there's a dire emergency.
Oh yeah, for sure. The best reporting, the camera tends not to lie, so that's good. It's a nice reporting. And with technology, like you said today, they can pull it up on their phone and talk to their loved one, push a button and actually talk to them. So it's just great. And in facility care, there are still some facilities. We see a lot more video monitoring. I know at least at Irvine Cottages, we've had cameras there for years and years, even in the bedroom where we have consent for that. And Vista Gardens, same thing, we're just getting our consent approved. So yeah, I think cameras are integral, even in the common areas as well. However, with memory loss, it's a little harder to get accurate reporting and protect them.
It's true. Well, so we've talked about some aspects of how you choose a facility. Tell me about some other ways that we can know the best facility for our loved ones.
Well, when we talk about facilities, there's skilled nursing. Of course, that's monitored by the Department of Health in California.
Yep.
And skilled nursing is now really turned into a lot of a different focus than 20 years ago. It's more about rehab and getting, you know, our Medicare, using it in the appropriate way to get wonderful rehab after the hospital stay.
Yes.
So after a 3-night stay or when it's deemed appropriate, they can go into a skilled nursing and get that. Although after skilled nursing, which is a very, very short stay, an older adult can, with Medi-Cal, stay in a long-term Medi-Cal bed, or they would transition to either home with some care,
Yes.
or usually, or to, or they could be totally rehabilitated and not need the care, or to an assisted living. And assisted living is a broad term.
It is.
It's really not, yes, it's not specific. And in different states, it means different things. So in California, it specifically means residential care.
Yes.
So residential care is the legal term. And for example, we would call an administrator in assisted living a residential care facility for the elderly RCFE administrator. And under that umbrella, you have the smaller facility, sometimes a 6-bed, or you'll have a larger facility.
Several floors.
Several floors,
Yes.
or a small memory care. They're
True.
all under assisted living.
Yes.
So we do see families getting confused, moving into memory care, larger memory cares especially, and saying, well, gosh, you know, it's memory care. You must do it all. You must do the rehab. You must have nurses around the clock.
Sure.
And very few memory cares have that clinical model and choose to have that clinical model. Like, you know, even you'll see some companies out there in California that won't weigh them. They don't want the
Oh.
medical model. They don't want a nurse on staff.
Yes.
They don't want a physician who's coming in more frequently. They may have more of a social model.
Yes.
And that's great if the older adult really wants a social model. Maybe they haven't tried adult daycare like we have at Alzheimer's. They haven't tried that step first, and they jumped into assisted living just for socialization. You don't see it as much. You really see older adults trying to
Retain
adult
their
daycare, stay at
independence.
home
Yes,
longer,
right.
and they are staying at home longer and longer and longer,
Yes.
where the safety comes into account. And now we're like, well, gosh, when does mom or dad take that step? When do they go to assisted living, the large model, or the small model, which often is called board and care, like you
Yes.
mentioned. And board and care is more of a slang term. And in California, it really is a wonderful option for seniors, like I have Irvine Cottages, for seniors who really want more monitoring and may have a safety component where they're maybe not safe to be alone
or communicate.
Yeah, communicate their needs, and they need that more one-on-one care.
Yes.
Although you will find some large facilities, and I really give kudos to Vista Gardens because we really try to have a better staffing ratio. And if
Yes.
you find a larger facility that can do that, maybe in their memory care, have, you know, a 1-to-5 ratio or 1-to-4 and more nursing, that
Wow.
is another option for someone who needs more monitoring. It's just really looking at key factors. And my top three, number one is always communication.
Yes.
And you just need to be informed all the time as a family member. Whether you're the power of attorney or the daughter visiting, you need to be informed. You don't want to walk in and see mom and say, oh my goodness, we need to go to the hospital. You want them to have communicated with you. That's
yes.
everyone's nightmare.
It is. Yes.
It is. And sometimes it just happens right at that moment. But
Oh.
many times they had been declining the last couple days and no one had called them.
Right.
And that is not right. We need to have a staff in any facility setting, whether it's small, large, adult daycare, that communicates openly in many various ways. Maybe they send a care plan report every month.
True.
Maybe they call often. Maybe they take, you know, vital signs more often. Maybe they just look at the older adult in a group setting more often. Whatever it is, call the family and communicate. Just let them know, you know what, this is what's happening, these are the changes. Because change of condition, we are getting older adults moving into these two areas
Yes.
that are more frail.
Yes.
In the old days, they moved in when they wanted to play bingo. And now that's not happening.
No.
It's not just bingo, although bingo's important.
Yes.
It helps with cognition, and
Yes.
it's a great socialization tool, great for activities, and you don't see it as much as you used to, but I love bingo.
I love bingo too. What I love about the notes that you sent to us, you were talking about medication administration. That to me is key. Tell me a little bit more about how that works.
You know, in California, we have medication regulations now,
Yes.
which is wonderful in assisted living, RCFEs. In-home care as well. So we really need to make sure when we're choosing a place, they're auditing their medications. They actually
Absolutely.
have a pharmacy that may be auditing. They may also use bubble packaging or a different way to package that's a little safer.
Right.
And they understand medication administration because we're really just assisting them. But even assisting them, these are medications from a physician
Yes.
that need to be controlled, that need to be monitored and signed for. And you do not always find that in a small setting. You find it in almost every assisted living, the larger ones.
Yes.
And then the smaller boarding cares, you don't always see that. So when you are looking, I would say just be an advocate and say, are they med techs? Are they trained in medications? Do they understand how to sign for them? Are you signing for them? Do you have a company policy for that? Or are they just centrally stored? Which really isn't okay. Centrally storing medications like at home.
Yes.
Not when there's 5 other people there, and you know we're having to sign for anything. You know, for giving it and then for monitoring it.
True. And then also, do they have a gerontologist like you available? You can have physicians, of course, who will lend their skills, but you really do need a gerontologist.
Yeah, gerontologist, a nurse, anyone with a great background in gerontology and aging that really understands the psychosocial, biological, and social needs of an older adult and how they're changing, how to recognize signs. And you'll find wonderful nurses in California. They aren't all in geriatrics, but you do find quite a few that have that compassion, that really, really want to make a difference. And they're the ones who are detail oriented.
Yes.
So it isn't always, I mean, I love that, you know, I love gerontologists and I support everyone who is one.
Yes.
There aren't that many of us, but I do think that, you know, anyone else who just is kind, compassionate, and a detail oriented person. I have a funny story. One time we were advertising for, I think it was a staffing manager, one of my companies, and my director said, can we put in the ad OCD preferred, obsessive compulsive disorder, or anxiety disorder?
Oh, great.
Because anyone with anxiety will be up at night thinking to themselves, I really need to make sure we gave that medication right.
Yeah, I wonder how many responses you get.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
We
that.
probably get a bunch
millions.
Millions.
Yes, I'm anxious.
Because we all have anxiety. Well, not everyone. You know, there are those people that are a little too laid back to work in our field, which is detail oriented. It's really critical that we follow up on everything.
That's
from a
so
skin tear to a bruise to them not liking the food, or them, you know, an older adult who refuses a meal.
Yes.
All of that is critical.
Boy, that's all it's really striking home with me, and it's very important information for me as well. Well, tell me about Orange County Alzheimer's and how this also comes alongside this effort.
Well, Alzheimer's of Orange County, we've really changed a little bit of our mission this year, which I love, in that we are direct service oriented, and we are running an amazing daycare down the street that is just amazing.
Yes.
I can't even think of a better way to describe it, because I've seen so many adult daycares over the years, and this one it's hopping. It's just a lot going on, very different levels of care, and the care seems to be segmented to fit the various residents they have there. Not everyone has memory loss, however, if they do, they're getting the help.
Okay.
And they really seem to individualize each older adult that's going there, from the activities they're offering to the care. And that's hard to do in adult daycare, but I'm seeing it done, and I'm really pleased and happy with the wonderful services we're offering there.
Well, we are pleased and happy that you've come here today to tell us about it.
Yeah.
Dr. Dupont, thank you so much. It's worth a visit to go see Irvine Cottages and to learn more about Assured InHome Care, and of course our wonderful daycare that's right down the street. And if you feel like visiting, please do. And you can also reach Dr. Dupont with Irvine Cottages and talk to her personally about the kinds of care that are available for your loved ones or for yourself. Now stay with us, because right after this message, Ken will be back with our Duplicate Bridge Club. We'll see you soon.